Hi, welcome to this morning practice. You probably won't need any props today, so you can just use your mat and yeah, we'll get started. We're going to start actually in child's pose this morning, just as a little moment to ground. So you can have your legs wide and fold over the legs and bring the hands just under the forehead, just to give it a little bit more ease. Just taking a moment just to arrive into this mat space. You might have just woken up and come straight to your mat, so you might feel still kind of half asleep, half awake. The perfect time to practice. We're really setting ourselves up for the day, setting the tone. Just start to deepen your breath here a little bit. Fully breathing in through the nose and fully breathing out through the nose or mouth if you need a sighing breath. Just taking 3 more breaths like that. And then slowly start to come up. Push into your hands, walk your hands in towards your legs. And we're just going to come up onto the knees and tuck the toes and just come into a little toe squat just to wake up the feet a little bit. If it feels too much to lean completely back, just bring your hands a little bit further forward like that, so it's not so much pressure on the toes. And if you're in your toe squat, your hands are free just to bring into prayer. Don't worry if your hands are forward. And just setting the intention today to kind of really listen in to how your body wants to move, to how your body wants to be, to how you want to feel for the rest of the day. And just take one big sun breath, so your arms can reach out as you inhale, touching at the top, and then as you exhale, hands come down and you can just bow your head forward. Okay, bringing the hands back down again, releasing the toes and just tapping them out a little bit. And then we're just going to sit back on the heels, back on the toes, and just bring the hands behind. Just bring your fingertips out behind you, kind of little teepees with the hands, and just lift through the chest. Just a little back bend, opening the front of the body. Take a big breath in, a big breath out. Slowly coming back up. We're going to just bring the hands behind the back, lace the fingers, draw the shoulders back as you lift the heart again. And this time we're going to bow forward into child's pose again, bringing the head down. And the hands can just lift a bit away from the back. Just take a couple of breaths here. And slowly coming back up. You can kind of use the arms to pull you back. We'll bring the hands behind us again on the fingertips. And leaning back into the hands, we're going to start to lift the hips away from the heels. Again, open through the front line of the body. You don't have to drop the head, you can keep the head in, chin in. Little squeeze of the glutes. We're waking up. And then releasing back down. We'll release to child's pose again, widen the legs. Arms come forward and just take a little side stretch. So just bringing both hands over towards the right side of the mat. Walking the hands across until you feel a sense of opening, lateral stretch of the spine, lateral bend of the spine. To deepen that, if you want to deepen that sensation, you just kind of lower the left armpit down slightly. And then you can slowly start to walk your hands back to center. And then over to the left side. Just taking a couple of breaths here. Again, to deepen, you might have that feeling of lowering that right armpit down slightly. And then you can walk your hands back to the middle, back up to a seat. And bring your knees back towards each other. Hands behind, and this time we're going to lift the knees and have a little bit of an ankle stretch. If this doesn't feel good for you, you don't have to do it. Okay, but it's just a little stretch for the front of the ankles. Coming back forward, hands down, we'll tuck the toes and push to a downward dog. And just walk out the legs a little bit. Deepen the breath. Using these kind of paddling movements with the legs to loosen out hamstrings and calves. We're going to lower the knees back down. Bring the spine back to neutral, so there's this sense of connection between your tailbone and the crown of the head. And you're just going to extend your right leg behind you into a balancing tabletop. Left arm, if it feels okay to, you can reach forward as well. If it feels too much, just keep the left hand down. You're going to take an inhale here in center. And then as you exhale, just take the left arm a bit out to the left, the right leg a bit out to the right on the diagonal. As you inhale, come back to center. And as you exhale, take the leg out to the side, arm out to the side. And just do that one more time if you can. Moving with your breath. Lower the left hand down, keep the right leg up, and just cross the right leg over the left leg. Okay, so the right leg crosses over diagonally over to the left. And you're just going to slide that right leg all the way back, so you're in a modification of pigeon pose now. Hope I'm still on the camera. Quite far off my mat now. Okay, so you've taken that right leg across and just brought it down. You can come onto your forearms if it feels okay. This target area for this pose is this left outer hip. Just taking one more breath. Coming back up, so you can kind of crawl the hands forward and bring that right leg back into that balance. And then step the right leg through into a lunge, bringing the left knee back slightly. So you get a nice feeling of stretch in the front of that left hip. Okay, from here we're going to just lift up and bring the arms out to each side. Bring the right arm on top of the left arm for eagle arms. Okay, and then as you inhale, just lifting up through the elbows. As you lift up, you might feel extra stretch in the front of that left hip. As you exhale, you're rounding in, elbows towards the solar plexus area. One more like that. rounding in. Next time you lift up, widen the arms apart. And then bring the hands down to frame that front foot as you straighten out your front leg. Can be handy to have props under your hands if you can't quite reach the floor comfortably. Toes up towards the sky. Okay, slowly walking the foot back forward, back into that lunge. Briefly back into that three-legged tabletop. And then lower your right leg down. We're going to do the same thing with the left leg. So you're going to extend your left leg out behind you. Head-tail connection. Right arm out, forward. Take a breath in. As you exhale, take arm and leg a little bit off to the diagonal. As you inhale, bring them back. So staying as stable as you can as you do a couple more. Okay, and then we're going to bring, next time you're back in center, you can bring the right hand back down, take the left leg all the way across the right leg on the diagonal. So left leg diagonally over to the right and slide yourself back into that modification of pigeon. Just feeling into the right hip, breathing down. Really being here for the process, being here for all the little moments that make up your practice, all the breaths that make up your practice. When you're ready, we're going to come back up, back into that three-leg tabletop, and then bring the left foot through, right knee back a little bit, so you find a bit of a stretch in that right hip flexor. Okay, and then coming up, arms nice and wide, this time left arm on top of right, hook the elbows. As you inhale, you can lift the elbows up. As you exhale, you can bring the elbows down. And just keep that going a couple more times, or one more time. Widen the wings again. Just open up, nice open heart. And then bring your hands down to frame that front foot and straighten the front leg. Take a breath. Actually, take a couple of breaths here. Let's come forward again into lunge. Back into that three-leg tabletop, just briefly. And then back to tabletop. And back to down dog. Tuck toes, push back. Of resetting the body in this symmetrical shape, feeling equal pressure through hands and feet, feeling your spine in the middle. This lift through your tail, which tractions the spine, lengthens the spine. Let's rock through to plank, so bringing the body forward into one straight line, plank position. And then lowering knees, rolling over thighs to belly. Finding your cobra with a breath in, so elbows stay nice and close as you lift through the heart. As you breathe out, you're going to come back through tabletop into child's pose. Hands can slide under the head. Just taking 3 more breaths. From here, just looking up towards your hands, we're going to slide forward, coming into Sphinx. Slide the body forward and bring the forearms down, and just feel a nice lift through the front of the body. You can sway a little bit if that feels good. You can look over one shoulder, feel your spine kind of snake-like. And then you can lower back down. You're going to bring the hands back under the shoulders, push back to a kneeling position. We're just going to take a seated twist. So as you inhale, you can lift the arms up. As you exhale, you can bring your right hand behind you, left hand, right knee. Stay for a breath. As you inhale next, arms back up, back to center, and then over the other way. Stay for a breath. This time just turning back to center, finding a comfortable seat. Just for the last couple of minutes. You can close your eyes. Allow this little practice just to absorb. To integrate. And ask yourself again, how do I want to feel today? How do I want to move today? Bringing your hands together in front of your heart, bowing your head. Namaste. I hope you have a beautiful day.